This morning on Action News, the confirmation of ICE officers in Sunnyside. City leaders holding a press conference yesterday discussing the sudden operations there. Leaders acknowledging the fear residents have, saying they're learning about the ICE arrests as the public does in real time. We'll hear from officials. Plus, in the meantime, advocates are reminding immigrants of their rights. They say the Fourth and Fifth Amendments should be respected during the process. We'll catch up with a civil rights foundation who has some recommendations should you encounter an ICE agent. And it's Substance Use Disorder Treatment Month, aiming to raise awareness of treatment and the benefits of it. It's new this year, and in honor of it, we'll catch up with a local treatment center who says to remember those struggling are our neighbors. We'll have that story and more coming up as you start your day with us right here on Action News. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, in the world of weather, not really much to write home about. Seeing similar conditions as to yesterday,
Yes.
That's my understanding of it. It's still cold. I didn't see much clouds in the sky, so it seems like another clear day.
That's right. It's going to be another sunny and cool day around the forecast area, much like we did see over the weekend and did see again yesterday. Now, there are changes in the forecast. If you like the sunshine, I recommend you get outside either today or tomorrow because big-time changes are arriving towards the end of this week. And once the changes do arrive, I do believe we will see those changes maintained well into next week. But before we get there, we have a couple more sunny days to get through in Yakima this morning. What we always talk about is sunshine in the afternoon typically leads to some pretty cold mornings, and that is once again being observed right now. 14 degrees in Yakima. Make sure you're bundled up nice and tight as you are stepping outside to begin this Tuesday. Here's a look at your weather headlines going forward. Sunshine is going to stick around for today and tomorrow. By the time we get to Friday, rain and snow will return. Rain and mountain snow, that is, will return on Friday, and then the active weather will continue into next week. We'll talk more about all three of these weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. There's a lot of news to get to this morning, and we're going to begin in Yakima County. Leaders in Sunnyside are confirming the presence of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers, also known as ICE, in the Latino-heavy city. KEPR's Alan Lester brings us the latest on what city leaders are saying, as well as who's being impacted.
This is something that caught us all off guard. We had no idea that these were going to be happening.
City leaders in Sunnyside are urging the community to remain calm and stay vigilant following confirmation of ICE agents conducting searches for undocumented migrants throughout the region. In an impromptu news conference, leaders consistently referred to the situation as fluid, saying they're learning about the activity in real time like everyone else.
I didn't know they were operating in Sunnyside yesterday until I saw it on Facebook and started getting some phone calls. They don't notify us ahead of time, and they operate independently of us.
While city officials say they will not be impeding ICE officers from doing their job, given their federal government status, they will also not be actively assisting them either, citing state legislation passed in 2019. Regardless, they say ICE's presence in the region has an impact.
We know that operations like these can disrupt our community, sow fear, and make it harder for people to trust local law enforcement or access the services that they so desperately need. Every action has a reaction. And in a community of our size, it has real ramifications. People don't go to school. People don't come to work. People don't come to the stores. And we're already in a financial crisis.
The meeting comes following a wave of videos posted on social media of ICE detaining people across Sunnyside, a woman at a local Fiesta Foods grocery store among the most prominent. Action News spoke with one couple who were pulled over by ICE officers during a drive from Granger to Sunnyside, but were released a short while later due to a mistaken identity.
I didn't know who they were. I just knew they were following us, and it was two of them. So I was just scared and I felt targeted.
Once he told me I fit the description, I just started thinking, well, I mean, a lot of people around this community will fit the description.
Reporting in Sunnyside, I'm Alan Lester, KEPR Action News.
Alan Lester, thank you. And as for immigration enforcement across the Columbia Basin, we reached out to the Department of Homeland Security's ICE field office in the Tri-Cities to get more details on information such as arrests made, but they have yet to respond. And advocates are reminding immigrants of what their rights are as the Trump administration conducts those widespread deportations. As we've seen here, some local leaders have reported immigration and customs enforcement agents both questioning and detaining U.S. citizens. Rights groups across the nation are telling immigrants, documented and undocumented, to remember they have constitutional rights. They recommend anyone who encounters an ICE agent do not open the door unless the agent has a search warrant, remain silent, and ask for a lawyer. Record the encounter on a smartphone, do not sign anything, stay calm and polite, and never lie.
We're not sitting here and saying, you know, we're against this policy or that policy. What we're saying is that civil rights and due process and our Constitution and our Fourth and Fifth Amendment should absolutely be respected during this process.
So far, leaders with ICE say they've conducted nearly 2,700 arrests since President Trump took over. More than 1,100 migrants were arrested yesterday, a drastic jump from Sunday's arrests of over 950. Agents say U.S. citizens may be questioned as part of their operations. Governor Bob Ferguson created a rapid response team with the stated goal of reducing harm caused by President Trump's immigration enforcement policies. In an appearance yesterday, the governor signed an executive order to create a family separation rapid response team. It'll recommend actions for addressing the lasting effects the separations will have on children. The governor says one of the missions is to make sure kids separated from parents will have someone to care for them and continue to access education. And the Yakima School District sent out a message to families reaffirming its commitment to educating all students regardless of immigration status. The message highlighted privacy protections, migrant education programs, and language access services designed to support students and families. The district also encouraged families to stay informed about their rights and provided resources on its website. Families with questions or concerns are encouraged to contact their school or the district office for assistance. Switching gears this morning, it is Substance Use Disorder Treatment Month, a time meant to raise awareness that treatment exists and the benefits of getting it. This treatment month is new this year, an effort of the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. When it comes to treatment here locally, Blue Mountain Heart to Heart is available in both Kennewick and Walla Walla to help clients through the use of harm reduction and case management. Leaders with Blue Mountain tell us support and compassion are the big parts of reducing stigma surrounding treatment.
If we could work more on remembering that these are our family members, these are our coworkers, these are our neighbors and our classmates, it might help restore our sense of humanity toward them and help increase the kindness toward them, and especially when they're looking to get into treatment, but even before they're ready for that.
Maroon also mentions you can stop by and get naloxone for free from any of their offices. And during the coldest months of the year, home heating equipment kicks into high gear. According to the National Fire Protection Association, space heaters are most often responsible for home heating equipment fires. The Washington State Fire Marshal's Office has some tips to stay safe this winter. Having furnaces inspected and serviced once a year by a qualified professional. Keep flammable items at least 3 feet away from a heat source. If you smell gas, leave the building and call 911. And when using a space heater, turn it off when you go to bed or leave the room. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, coldest time of the year for sure, and it's definitely feeling like that, especially in those overnight lows. Yeah. As we make our way into the morning hour, things seem to be kind of par for the course that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it's almost a near copy and paste day from up to what we saw yesterday to what we saw on Sunday. A very cold start to the morning and afternoon with temperatures that will be just a few degrees below average, but in general pretty seasonal, what you should expect for this time of year. Again, plenty of sunshine around the forecast area today. What I will say is I know there are so many sun lovers around this part of the Northwest, and if you enjoy the sunshine, I hope you can get outside for today and tomorrow because changes are coming. We'll talk about when precipitation will be back to the region coming up.